Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Gravity Falls vlogs of this week.
Hooray!
Today, episode 2, Legend of the... what was it again?
Gobblewonker.
The Jabberwocky? Yes.
No.
The Gobblewonker?
Well, dude, I don't think... Hold on, I think we need to take a break. These jokes are just too good, man. It was almost as good as the jokes in the episode.
I really don't remember how it starts off, but I think it starts off in the pancake restaurant or something.
No,
like
they're just eating breakfast in the shack, and Stan comes
well,
in and he's like, "Hey, it's the day that we're gonna spend some time together, and I get to develop my character some more."
Okay, well, they were indeed eating breakfast, but I didn't know where it was taking place. Probably in the shop.
Yeah, they were just in the shack.
And yeah, like Uncle Stan wants to spend some time with his children, and he brings them to a lake while driving very dangerously on medication.
Yeah.
And once they arrive there, a lot of things happen. Basically, a commotion starts because there's this crazy guy telling us about the legendary Gobblewonker.
Yes, and they want to take a photo of the Gobblewonker because while they're eating breakfast in the breakfast scene, they see in like I guess it's a newspaper. For some reason, this 12-year-old is reading a newspaper, but he sees that there's a competition to get a picture of a monster, and they want to take a picture of this big lake monster thing.
Speaking of that newspaper, by the way, I like, even though I've seen seen ahead a few episodes, I like that they foreshadowed Gideon because he's on the back of the newspaper.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, hey, foreshadowing, this guy is going to come.
Yeah, man.
This psychic kid, supposedly, but yeah, that's for another episode.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they're going fishing, or, basically, like, Uncle Stan wants to go fishing, and it's called Stan of War, I think.
The boat is called Stan of War. Isn't that interesting?
Stan of War. And then, as soon as they like want to leave, Zeus come in this like yacht or
well, it's not really a yacht. It's more like a tugboat.
It's a more advanced boat than Stan has, at least.
Yeah, it's still a piece of crap though.
Stan has just an old rickety boat with a murder on it. Yep. And that boat is the SS Cool
Dude.
Cool Dude. Yes, the SS Cool Dude. Cool something. I knew something.
It's always dude when it's Zeus.
Yeah, it's SS Cool Dude. So of course kids are going to go on a high-staking adventure because it's adventure. It's a cool boat.
They want their hamster ball and fame.
Oh yeah, Mabel wants a hamster.
Mabel wants a human hamster ball.
For some reason.
Because she's a strange person, that's why.
And then we had when she imagined what she could do with that money, we had like a little scene that almost seemed like it was animated by someone else entirely.
Yeah. Well, you had a couple of characters there that we might be seeing again.
Yeah, there were like characters there, and but the entire city, and it kind of almost looked as if it was animated by someone else.
Yeah, well, it's just such a different aesthetic to the rest of the show. That's why.
Yeah, probably. And then they go on this adventure on what was it called again? That island?
Scuttlebutt Island.
Yes, Scuttlebutt Island. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that island's name. And of course, Dipper brings a lot of cameras, like 20 cameras or something.
I think it was like 17 cameras, and obviously they have a scene where they're losing them all very quickly. It's funny.
Yeah. Basically, the running joke throughout almost the entire episode is that they lose every camera that they got.
Yeah.
I think even at the end they lose the final camera even.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're like basically as they throw away the cameras pretty much, and then Mabel gets to drive, and Mabel is very easily distracted, so they crash a little bit onto the island with their ship. And at first nothing is going on. There are some weird noises, but if you're alone in the forest, there are always weird noises.
It was just a gopher with a chainsaw, a beaver with a chainsaw.
It's a beaver with a chainsaw. And
just usual everyday stuff, not a monster.
You also know what's amazing? These beavers are hell of a lot of cute, and there are subtitles.
Yeah, yeah.
For some reason, they have subtitles for what they're saying. I don't know. It's just a joke, you know.
Yeah, man. Jokes.
So some of the jokes because what's funny is subjective. Some of the jokes obviously miss their notes.
Yeah.
And after they find out that there's really nothing going on the island except for beavers, Dipper is about to give up.
But then,
what
should happen?
Yeah.
But the monster appears.
Yeah, and the monster shows up. And they have this, again, a highway chase.
A great chase scene.
Yeah, like...
Except with water.
Yeah, this one is even bigger than the last chase scene. Even though for some reason, even though it's on water, they kind of treat it as if they're with cars.
Yeah.
Because...
Like they do, like the Seuss does a fucking J-turn with the boat.
Yeah, it's like a J-turn with a boat. Yeah.
And also one of my favourite jokes of the episode, the guy's carrying the glass.
Yeah,
that's just such an old joke, but they used it in the most out of place they could have done, and it's great.
There are two guys on two boats, carrying a glass window.
Glass.
Yeah, for some reason they're carrying glass, and of course the boat crashes through the glass.
Yeah,
because that's a very very old joke to make, and not only that, but also later on, Stan he says he had a run-in with the police or the water police, and he has this ankle band on,
yeah,
which you don't get unless you don't get that on a lake.
No, that's like a house arrest thing.
Yeah, it's a house arrest basically. That you're not allowed to drive, that you're not allowed to leave. It was kind of funny. And basically they get all around, chased by the monster, and of course no one notices, even though this monster is wreaking havoc and causing a lot of destruction.
Yeah, there's actually an interesting episode much later on that I don't think you will have seen in the episodes that you have seen. I don't think you'll have seen this one because I think it's season 2 that kind of goes into why all these things go unnoticed, and that's quite interesting. But for now, it's just a strange thing, and then they go into a cave behind the waterfall because of course there's a cave behind the waterfall.
Yeah, they crash into a cave into the waterfall, and luckily for them, the monster gets caught because the monster's too big to even fit into the to the cave entrance. Why that monster just doesn't sink, lower? Maybe there's the bottom there, but you would think that the lake there is deeper and he just could sink his body, but nope. Apparently he got stuck in the cave entrance, and then the creature pretty much dies or whatever.
It gets hit in the head by a log or a rock or something, and then it breaks.
Yeah, and then it breaks.
Because it turns out to be a robot.
Yeah, it turns out that this giant thing that was clearly very well animated and clearly swinging its head a moment earlier is now made of complete metal.
No, dude, it's because it was foggy.
yeah, man. No.
Well, artistic liberties. You gotta make.
Yeah.
You can't make it obvious.
It's now made of complete metal, and apparently the old man that told them about the monster was inside of it.
Yep.
And this old man is pretty crazy, even crazier than Mabel is. He is actually crazy.
Yeah, he's legit crazy.
Yep.
Also, pretty interesting how this old man is very tech savvy.
Yep. This man apparently made robots in the past in order to destroy towns and such.
Yeah.
So you would wonder why he's even allowed to be able to walk outside still and not just in a prison somewhere.
Well, assumedly nobody ever caught him, or nobody knows it's him doing it.
Yeah, or somewhere in a mental institution, and he just wants attention because
his son doesn't pay attention to him, and it's all very thematic because they're doing the exact same thing to their grunkle.
Yep, to Uncle Stan.
Dude, it's grunkle. Get it right. Jeez, you're gonna get so many dislikes.
A grand uncle. I don't think that's a thing. Grunkle
it's
is
great
over the
uncle.
world. Yeah. Great uncle, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not really a thing though, but whatever.
Yeah, but it is though. So shut up.
Maybe in the backwaters where you're from.
What?
I,
What?
I don't know.
How dare you say that to me?
You have such a big family, you know? I don't really know. I'm just saying things. Yeah, and he just wants attention from his child, basically, even though his child is a fucking adult at this point and,
Yeah.
you know, wants
But,
to live
you
his
know,
life.
then again, this is a crazy old guy that we're talking about.
So, Dipper and Mabel, they feel bad and they go back with Zeus in their torn up boat, which... How is that even afloat? But, you know, animation. And yeah, like Uncle Stan's boat is in better shape at the end than Zeus's boat is, and they go fishing with Zeus, and they use that final camera that Dipper has in order to take pictures with his with him.
Yeah,
And
but then they lose it anyway.
then they just throw it in the ocean anyway. And finally, when that thing sinks to the bottom, you get to see that there was maybe actually a monster there after all.
Yeah, whoa.
So yeah, but like, maybe there was something strange going on after all.
Yeah, it's just a nice throwaway joke at the end. Like, they hit it or something with the boat, don't they? And it's like, oh, what was that? I don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Nice
like,
closing joke.
The thing that I do like is, like, that there were other people there, you know, like, you know, the whole town is here. And then you see, like, these lumberjack people, like, I asked Lewis, like, is that Chuck Norris right there? It's like, no.
No.
Nope.
I disclosed the information that it is, in fact, Wendy's family.
Yeah, and the father was just like a major aggressive guy who's not
because I think he's a lumberjack.
Yeah, he looked like a lumberjack.
Yeah,
and during the episode, the Grunkle Stan, he goes out and he's lonely and he goes out like to this couple that's on the river trying to propose, and he interrupts the moment.
Yeah,
and just ruins the mood. And then later on, he goes to this family and he's just talking to this little kid.
He's talking to this other people's kid.
Yeah, to this other people's kid, and like.
Oh, and then you have the family who looks like Dipper and Mabel. That was really funny.
Yeah, like there's like this family and they have two kids and they look exactly like Dipper and Mabel, but then even younger.
Yeah, just like it's like the universe mocking Stan.
We love you, Grandpa. And he just gets upset.
Yeah. No.
But anyway, and the, like, of course, the moral of this in this episode is like, spend time with your family, especially your grandpa, because you know grandparents get lonely and they want to spend time with their children and their grandchildren. Because I don't know, especially like if you are like Grunkle and you're alone, you know,
yeah,
you don't have someone else to spend your time with. You don't have a grandmother, basically. What would you call that? Still a grandmother?
What, like you mean like the aunt version?
Yeah,
a grant.
A grant.
Grant. I'm trying to not say aunt because, like, with my accent, aunt and aunt sound exactly the same.
An aunt.
Yeah.
And an aunt. Grant and Grant.
Grant.
It's the Grant Show. It's spectacular.
Going back to, I know we talked about the intro in the, last time, but I just want to also say just how incredibly well animated it is. It looks so good.
There's definitely more of a budget put into the intro than
Yeah.
the rest of the animation.
Well, you know, because it's going to be in every episode, so they want to make sure it looks good. And it does, definitely. Like, the animation's so smooth.
And then even in animation, in the beginning intro, they hint at, like, there are more monsters here than, you know, they are currently shown.
Yeah.
And also at the beginning of the episode, they hinted, like, that time has passed. Like, maybe a significant amount of time.
Yeah.
But
I'm not really sure, like, they have a weird time passage.
yeah. Even though this is the second episode, it's like they've been here for a bit. And they've even been to jail.
Yeah, that was it. They were, like, counterfeiting money, weren't they?
Yeah. Well, Grunkle Stan was counterfeiting money.
Yeah, but he was forcing them to as well.
Yeah. But they're kids, they don't go to jail, so.
Well, they did. They went to the
Maybe.
county jail.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of jokes like that, like, you know, there are a lot of jokes throughout the episode, and it was kind of funny. I like the beavers a lot, because they had subtitles for no reason, and they were...
Yeah, there's a lot of things that don't really make much sense, but they're just kind of throwaway jokes.
Yep. And of like little details here and there, and yeah, actual that there are more people, and what I do know is that all these people that you see, they are designed almost differently. Like, you know, they have distinguishable features from each other. They don't just look like, you know, the same.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times when you have just background characters, a lot of times animators fall in the trap to just animate in the same style they always do. You know, just a regular style. But these are actually designed.
Yeah,
you know?
it's mostly because a lot of the townspeople are very regularly occurring, and because it's just a small town, so you'll see a lot of the same people.
I mean, even in the first episode where you just had the tourist, I think, you know, every tourist looked different.
Yeah,
They didn't look the same, you know, and that's always refreshing to see that there's not just one look to it, because I like Steven Universe, but I can definitely see like most of the other minor characters kind of have a similar design sense to them.
yeah,
You know, and that you don't really see that in this episode. They are very animated for for lack of the better word.
yeah. There's just a lot of variation.
Yeah, variation, exactly. What else? I did like sort of the fact that Stan's fishing lure were just dead fish.
Yeah,
Just he didn't even have fishing lures. He just had dead fish, and there were, you know, flies were covering around them. What else?
I don't know. I think that might be. We're about covered it. I think. I definitely like the music in it. Because when we were watching, I said to you, I like how when the monster went past for the first time, when you saw it, you could hear like banjos echoing, which is kind of a little bit of foreshadowing to the fact that the crazy guy was behind it. That's it.
Yeah, basically when you first meet the crazy guy, banjo music is playing, and when you get the foreshadowing of the monster, you know, threatening music is playing, but also a little
You
bit
hear
of
a
banjo
little bit
music.
of banjo in there, and also
Yeah.
there's a lot of banjo when during the chase scene.
Oh yeah, during the chase scene, there's a lot of banjo.
So they kind of have that theme throughout because this guy is, what's his name? Old Man McGucket. That's it.
Yeah, and even though like I don't know if there's like a loop animation, but in the last episode, as soon as you know, Mabel started mentioning blinking, I kind of, you know, started paying attention a little, and I do like the fact that these characters actually blink.
Yeah, the characters actually do blink, and it's just a nice detail that they don't really need, but it helps.
Yeah, sometimes they use it in order to emote, and that always helps in order to emote a character.
Yeah.
You know,
It also actually makes
the
it a
eyes.
lot easier to change a character's expression. From an animating standpoint, it's a lot easier to change a character's expression when there's a blink in there, because it just makes the transition smoother.
Yeah, like I do like that. I don't know how this is animated. If this is animated by hand or by computer or whatever.
I actually think it's animated in Flash.
In Flash.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
That might have been a rumor, but I'm pretty sure that it was a truth.
yeah. Well, like, you know, obviously the intro is animated by computer. It's not animated by hand. But the rest of the show kind of looks just drawn.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of effects in the intro.
Like a lot of the backgrounds, you can tell that, you know, that's not hand drawn. You know, but the characters kind of look hand drawn. You know, and that's good for a show.
No, I
you
disagree.
know?
I think the backgrounds are
actually
backgrounds are hand drawn.
No, I said you cut out, but I said the hand drawings aren't back drawn, and you can really see it that they are computer animated, they are computer drawn. I mean,
No, I don't think so.
you don't think so? You think that they're hand drawn?
Yeah, I think the backgrounds are hand drawn.
I don't think so, but whatever.
Wait, what do you mean by hand drawn anyway? Do you just mean like on paper or?
Yeah, it's like just put in the extra effort that to go through a hand.
No, like I say, I think it's all done in Flash. Maybe the backgrounds won't be because they're painted. I think they're still digitally painted. But I don't know. I just don't like it when people say, "Oh, it's animated by a computer," because what you mean is it's animated on a computer. It's not animated by a computer. Like they still had to do it. It still takes the same amount of work to do.
No, but
it's just on a computer and not on paper.
What I mean is, like some of the backgrounds or the foregrounds, they don't look, they look like there's computer work, like they're
like I said, there's definitely effect. They have effects in their computer effects.
Yeah. So I don't really know how to describe that other than that, but it's noticeable, that it's not purely hand drawn, like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am bad with words apparently.
Apparently.
I cannot.
Yeah.
Yes, apparently. That's why I'm doing this vlog series to get better at words.
Maybe if you could portray what you mean better, I might agree with you. But at the moment, I kind of don't.
I mean, you're the animator here, so you speak from more experience than I do.
Well, I mean that doesn't really. I mean, if you notice something more than I do, that doesn't make it. That doesn't make it true. I'm just saying. I think it blends really well. I think it's really well done.
Just because I say something doesn't make it true.
No, I mean that's not what I meant. I didn't mean to say that. I meant like just because I have more experience, doesn't mean that I'm right automatically. Like if you notice something seems out of place, then it probably is.
Yeah, man.
But for me, I think everything is really well done. I think the computer effects actually blend really well with the animation.
I'm not saying they don't blend well. I'm just saying that I've noticed that they are there.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm saying I don't notice that they're there because they're blended. If they weren't blended well, then they would be noticeable.
I mean, you can notice them. I mean, how to explain? Sometimes you just notice them, even though they fit really well.
I guess. Yeah. I guess.
Even in Disney animation, Disney animation usually takes extra effort to make it look as
seamless as possible.
Yeah, seamless as possible. But even there, you can kind of notice if you pay attention.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's actually a really good example. Is I think I told you a while ago that the magic carpet in Aladdin, the pattern on it is actually 3D rendered because it was too intricate to draw by hand. But you only notice it once you know that. If you watch Aladdin now, knowing that information, you could look at the carpet and be like, oh yeah, I guess that does look kind of 3D. But without knowing, then you wouldn't notice.
I didn't think about the pattern, but I did think about like the carpet itself was...
No, the carpet itself is 2D. It's normally drawn, but it's just a pattern on it that's 3D rendered onto it. It's like mapped onto it.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, so I wouldn't be able to tell you or remember what I thought when I first saw it. So.
It's not relevant. That example isn't relevant specifically. It was just an example I thought of when we talk about noticing computer effects in 2D animation.
Yeah. What else was there to this episode? I don't think there was anything else.
I don't think there was much else. We've discussed pretty much everything: animation, music, story, character development.
Yeah, man.
Like I say, this was pretty much Stan's introduction episode. Even though we still don't see much of him. It's more like Seuss's introduction episode, actually. We see a lot more of Seuss than we do of Stan.
Yeah, man.
We've still only had like 3 lines from Wendy altogether.
Well, we have more lines from her family at this point than herself.
That's true.
And apparently Wendy's dad is Chuck Norris.
Is that a term people use now just to describe anyone like typically macho?
No, not typically macho, but he's like, the beard, He has a red beard.
Oh, he has a
brown beard, but he was like very manly, very lumberjack-esque, very with a beard, So he kind of, even though he has red hair, but whatever. Chuck Norris is brown. What am I even talking about? Basically, he's Canadian Chuck Norris. So. There we go. I don't even know if Chuck Norris is an American, but whatever.
Oh.
Who cares?
Who fucking cares?
Anyway, that was this episode of Gravity Falls, episode 2.
Episode 2. What will happen in episode 3? Find out next time.
The Legend of the Jabberwocky.
No.
Goodbye.
Bye.